Welcome back to the Beauty Boss Millionaire podcast with daily on-the-go episodes packed with testimonies and business tips to help you create financial freedom through entrepreneurship. Hosted by the owner of Fracassi Lashes and the Blow Dry Lounge, the Beauty Boss Millionaire herself, Falicia Fracassi.
Welcome to the Beauty Boss Millionaire. I'm your host, Falicia Fracassi. The objective of this podcast is to help other entrepreneurs identify quickly when someone needs to leave your company. As the journey begins and you start working really good, you're going to quickly be able to fine-tune your method. And what I mean by that is there's a certain system that you're going to have in place. It's like a caterpillar going to a butterfly. There's so many things that are happening. It's like metamorphosis happening with you. Your mindset is changing. You're learning new stuff. You're probably going to be hopefully you're going to be on fire as far as learning everything about your business and figuring out what you need to add to your business to really build it up. And I always say God will give you ideas as you go, and you yourself will Google ideas as well. Because you'll start to feel little things like, okay, this seems right. Oh, I need to do this. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, that's a good idea. You'll be driving down the street and then an idea will come to you. And make sure you're writing those things down. And one thing that I was explaining earlier is that, as you're growing so quickly, these people around you may not eventually be they can't keep up with you sometimes. And it's happened to me. And it's important that you are quick to replace them or get them to do something else in the business or just simply get them away from you altogether. One thing that I've always noticed that anytime I've had someone working around me and it was time for them to go is they always had these telltale signs. And we're going to talk about this now. One, there was a change in their attitude. I mean, they don't care. They come in late, and there's just this lack of respect for you. And secondly, their work isn't even up to standard. They're just not caring. There's just this I'm not saying you got to fire everyone, but you need to either have a serious talk. Hey, I just wanted to pull them aside in the office. Hey, I just want to check and see is everything okay? I noticed that you haven't been coming in lately. Is something going on? Because first you want to try to be understanding. And then if they just say, oh no, I'm fine. Well, nothing's going on, and I'm sick of this place or whatever they want to say, let them vent. Make sure you're not an emotional boss. I've had literally people look like they were about to curse me out or cry or whatever, and I stay calm. I work with females, so sometimes the ladies are more sensitive and they're in tears. Something happened, they had to break up with the boyfriend, or they found out their man's cheating on them, and they got to come to work with that face. And I'm like, something's not right. And so I had to just stay calm. I'm not one of those people that is going to sit up there, and I just like to listen. And then I like to say, okay, well, I definitely understand that's happening. Maybe you just need to take a day off. If I can afford for them to take off and I can handle the store by myself, that's fine. Because you want to be a human, first you want to be a human, but sometimes they have to learn to hold that in and deal with that after hours. One of the telltale signs that someone was on their way out the door is they just simply violate rules. They're not in their uniform. When you ask them something, they give you a hard time, and they just don't listen. Another sign that I've noticed that is always an indication that someone might need to leave is there's drama. There's too much drama around them. And I really mean by that. Sometimes people just carry this drama and they don't even realize it. They're just creating drama as they go. If it's causing your staff to just be drama filled, and it's always usually one person going around stirring the pots. You got the one gossiper that's going around telling each person something different. Those are the people that you need to get out of your company, because they're going to make your team weak too, especially if your team is new. They're already still trying to figure out what's going on. And if they're strong-minded, they'll ignore it. But, unfortunately, people are easily influenced, I think. And if they don't know who they are. Sometimes people in general are just about that drama life. They're really about drama. Their whole life is around who they can get all riled up, who they can get around to talk about another person. And they just like to sit back and watch it all. Those is really strange to me that people do this stuff. And I've seen it happen in companies. For example, we had this one girl who was working at our store. This was years ago, so long ago. Started off good, great worker, but something happened where she had some drama and some beef. We call it beef where I'm from. But she had some tension with other girls in the city. And it was so much tension that one day a girl showed up at work that wanted to beat her up. I had to diffuse that situation. I'm like, okay, well, maybe that just was a one-time thing. But then it happened 6 other times. And I was like, you know what? I don't think this is a good place. This keeps on happening. People shouldn't even know where you work at unless you're out here promoting it. I had to tell her on Facebook, don't even say you work here, because then you're telling people where you work at. That's one of the things that as an employer that you might go through. It's so important that you don't have people that are just drama filled or have bad reputations, because it's a reflection on your company. Another sign that it's time for someone to leave is if they're disrespecting other employees, or they're stealing, or just simple sexual harassment to other workers. That's one thing I've never, ever allowed on my floor. I don't allow anyone to make jokes about someone else's body parts or about their sexual preferences or anything that has to deal with any type of sexual harassment. That's never been allowed in the workplace. And that's one thing that you should never allow. You should not even be joking with your employees. We'll get into that in another segment. So I don't even get into those subjects. Even if it's a break room conversation, I will steer away from the conversation and stay strictly professional and keep my head out of the water. And I'll even just say, you know what? We don't need to be talking about this on the floor. And I go right back to professional mode. Another telltale signs that someone may need to leave is money is missing. People are bold nowadays. They will literally take $30 out the register and talk about, well, I was going to bring it back tomorrow. Be careful with those people. Or they'll take things out of the office that they shouldn't be taking, or they're just taking supplies that they shouldn't be taking. Those are red flags that they need to leave. Have cameras in place so you can watch what these people are doing, especially if you have a brick and mortar. You need to be having cameras nowadays because you don't know if you're going to have, it could be a thief coming in tonight. You find out the thief's not the person that you think is really one of your workers. These are real, true things. I'm a New Yorker and I say it all over again in my podcast because this stuff I've seen all throughout New York. I remember there was a guy who had a cookie shop in New York City. We couldn't figure out who was stealing the cookies and stuff at night. Come to find out it was one of his own workers. And that's a form of theft. And as a leader, you are going to see all these things that I'm talking about slowly unfold in your business. And it's like you want to just be aware of these things before it's too late because these things will happen. I don't know if you guys ever watch how a girl group starts or a guy group starts when they're all singing, everything's going smooth. And then you find out behind all this there's something else going on. Or even if you watch Scooby-Doo, it's like they're all start off as a team to try to catch the bad person. We find out the bad person is the person you least expected. So just keep that mentality in business. The same people that you amongst you might be hanging out with and breaking bread with are the same people that could be up to no good in your company. And it's unfortunate that people do these things, but it's the honest to God truth. So be careful who you hire. I'm not saying that you can't hire people, but make sure that you're constantly monitoring their energy and and how they're operating your business with you and beside you. Stay tuned because up next, we're talking on how to lead by example when running an operation and 3 key things to do to make sure that you are doing correctly as you are in the spotlight at all times. You're listening to the Beauty Boss Millionaire with Falicia Fracassi.
That's it for today. Tune in tomorrow for the Beauty Boss Millionaire podcast. And don't forget to follow the Beauty Boss Millionaire, Falicia Fracassi, on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Beauty Boss Millionaire.